Now, I know many of you love to wear beast mode fragrances that have great longevity, they have amazing trail and also intense projection and things like that. I prefer those fragrances, but I don't prefer them all the time. Sometimes I get tired of them and I want something closer like a skin scent. And that's what we've got today here in today's video. I've got a list of skin scents that are perfect if you want to enjoy the fragrance on your own. These are fragrances that people have to get close to you to smell you, and they would also make great scents or fragrances to wear if you work close to someone, you know, close quarters, and you don't want to offend someone around you that might have some sensitivities to fragrances. So either way, find out about some amazing skin scents coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, today we're talking about skin scents. These are some of the best skin scents on the market. This is what I have. This is what I'm recommending. There's the usual suspects here, some skin scents that I've recommended over and over again, and there's some new ones here that I'm recommending as well, but I've tested these out and I really enjoy them. And as I was saying, I do prefer fragrances that are beast mode, really intense, but occasionally I'll want something a little more personal because I don't want to offend someone. I'm going to meet up with someone very sensitive and things like that, but I still want to wear a scent, and these are not going to offend people. So let me know, which camp are you in? I know many of you really love those intense fragrances, but I also get many comments from folks that want these kind of, personal scents as well. So let's go ahead and get started with a brand new one from the house of Dorsey. This is EQ, this one right here. So this one, a brand new release from this house. It's a classic house that's been brought back, and a new launch for this house created by Dominique Ropion. I find it to be a personal scent, a skin scent, but also very sexy, and it features notes of Ambrette, Cashmeran, Orris Concrete, Jasmine, Pink Pepper, and Patchouli. It's super beautiful here. On me, it smells great. It's not the most faint smell. You'll definitely smell this, and also when your body is heating up, you're going to smell it a little more as well. It's not totally a minimalistic kind of a fragrance. There's smell there, but in the end it becomes a skin scent. It's so beautiful, and I like that whole powderiness here. There's some woodiness and some spice as well. Light floral touch, but very, very musky. The Ambrette note is beautiful here with the Cashmeran blended with the Iris or Orris Concrete, and I think it's beautiful. Check it out. It's Dorsey's EQ. Probably haven't heard of that brand. I've spoken about them here and there on the channel, but let's go ahead and talk about JOVOY's latest release. It's Musk PALLAS, this one right here. This is totally a skin scent for me. It's a perfect skin scent in that it's a fragrance just for myself, and someone has to get really, really close to you to smell this one. And the way these skin scents work is it'll sit really, really close to you, but if your body temp has heated up a little bit, they will start projecting a little bit. And those are the times that people might get a whiff of your scent and be excited about it. And this one, again, it's just very, very close to the skin, but it does heat up a little bit and some projection happens. But in the end, I believe it's a skin scent, at least to me it is, with notes of musk, ambrette, sea spray, tonka beans, iris, peach, muscenone, and bergamot. So there's a little bit of a light sea spray or marine kind of a thing in there, but it's mostly about the musk and the ambrette. And you're going to notice in this video we have a lot of fragrances with musk and ambrette. It creates the muskiness and creates these fragrances that are sitting close to the skin. This one also has that muscenone with that light peachy fruitiness, but it's a beautiful combination. It sits really, really close to the skin. And again, these are fragrances that are perfect for those folks that don't like very intense fragrances, and I really think the new Musk PALLAS from JOVOY is perfect. And again, they are known for really intense fragrances like Psychedelique and Incident Diplomatique and Private Label. That one's the complete opposite, just giving you a heads up. Nothing like any of those three fragrances. But moving on to the house of PHLUR, it's Missing Person, this one right here. Again, very, very close to the skin. This one sits so close, you can smell stuff. It's a bit molecular, it's a bit woody and a bit floral. Some citrus is in there as well, but once again, it sits really, really close to the skin, and with some heat, it does do some projection. But in the end, it's a perfect musk, and it's a beautiful, I think it's a sexy musk. It's definitely got that whole signature of molecular muskiness here. in here, but the beautiful woodiness there too. But it's very ethereal, I should say, with this fragrance. It wears very ethereal. It's very airy, but there's a scent there. It's minimalistic and just beautifully sexy, and you know, a great fragrance from this house. Again, some of you that are not too experienced with you know, digging into fragrances and things like that, you might not smell a lot of these fragrances because you're expecting something that's going to totally like stand out. And some of these fragrances might be very minimalistic that you can't smell them. And then also sometimes you might be anosmic to some of the notes that are being used in here. Don't give up so quick. I've had people complain to me and say fragrances just smell like alcohol and things like that, and then come back a month to 2 months later and say, oh, finally I can smell that fragrance. And these fragrances might be like that. But these are perfect fragrances for those folks that like skin scents or minimalistic fragrances. And the PHLUR's Missing Person is definitely one of the best here. So Missing Person by PHLUR, check it out. So this next fragrance, if I can find it, here it is from the house of LABO. It's another 13, this one right here. This one, for me, it's super minimalistic with ISO E Super and some Ambrox and type notes in here. But what I like about it is it needs skin. It needs somebody's body, you know, sweat or chemistry to kind of mix together and to create this super musky sexiness. So in the end, it's a skin scent, but this one does have trail. It's not like the beastliest trail, but when people are moving around, and as I keep saying, if the body is heated up, it does have some projection. But in the end, for me, it's a skin scent, but a beautiful, beautiful skin scent with ISO E Super, with Ambergris, Musk, Ambrette, Amyl Salicylate, and Pear. Beautiful. This is the kind of fragrance that when I smell it off of someone, I do a double take because they smell super, super sexy, and the smell is fantastic. I really love the way Another 13 smells, but this is a fragrance that I've received comments and messages about saying, man, that stuff smells like alcohol. I can't smell anything. Definitely give it time. Give it time and you'll totally smell it. It's super amazing. So it's Another 13, a beautiful fragrance. The next fragrance is Not a Perfume by Juliette Has a Gun. I don't have it here with me. I'm not sure where it is currently. I've moved it somewhere. But Not a Perfume, again, it's a very minimalistic skin scent. In fact, it needs the body to create a scent of its own. You might not smell anything there with Not a Perfume. I'm talking about the original Not a Perfume, not the superdose version. The superdose you can totally smell, and it's also very, very strong. But I've heard people say Not a Perfume doesn't smell like anything, and then I've heard people say the superdose version smells too strong and woody. So you got to figure out which one works for you. But Not a Perfume is super minimalistic. I've given a bottle of it to my sister because she's a nurse and she can't wear fragrance. Although I don't think she wears Not a Perfume at the hospital either. But it's that kind of a fragrance that it's very, very minimalistic, and it needs some body sweat and you know, your funk kind of to create a very interesting smell. But I like its cleanness. It's super close to the skin, and I enjoy it when I just want something completely minimalistic and just want kind of something calming, because there's kind of a calming vibe about Not a Perfume that I really, really like. If I want the more intense version where I can really smell stuff, Not a Perfume superdose will work. And the note they're using in both is Cetalox, kind of like the cousin of Ambroxan. So what Ambroxan smells like, basically, it's to replace the usage of Ambergris. So it's kind of woody, ambery, musky, a bit also aquatic marine combination. So Cetalox, Ambroxan, perfect note, and definitely in Not a Perfume. So up next, going to the House of Commodity for their Scent Space collection of fragrances, and this is the first one I reviewed from this collection, Paper, and it's the minus version, this one right here. So Paper is a woody fragrance profile, all three of them. We've got the minus, we've got the regular version, and then we've got the plus. The plus is the strongest, the minus is the most minimalistic, the most skin scenty, and this is featuring ISO E Super, which is basically a woody molecular note, cedarwood, but with a bit of a sandalwood touch. And then this also features skin musk and amber, some sweetness there, and beautiful skin scent that you can totally smell the woodiness and also the muskiness, and then that sweet ambery dry down one is perfect here. And this is once again a kind of fragrance that you might be anosmic to. Give it some time. A lot of people are anosmic to ISOE Super. They can't smell it, but it's used quite a bit in fragrances as a base note to substitute or to replace the usage of cedar. But this is really, really great. If you think it's too light, it is a skin scent after all. You can kind of graduate to the regular version of this or the plus to make it a lot more intense. But Paper Minus, really great fragrance from the house of Commodity. Check that out if you don't know it. And this next one is also a skin scent. All of these are skin scents, and this is a super fantastic skin scent. It needs heat to come alive. This is from DS and Durga. I don't know what. It's used as an enhancer, so basically you can add it to a fragrance to kind of make it different a little bit, because there's definitely a smell, but when I first smelled this one, I smelled it here in San Francisco with the weather being kind of cool. I hardly picked up anything. I got some of the molecular notes, but with this fragrance, when I tested it in LA when it was hotter, really came alive. It bloomed and it became beautiful. For me, I think it's perfect on its own, but you can also use it to enhance or layer with other fragrances or to boost them. It works really beautiful. So it has ISOE Super here with Bergamot. There's Vetiver Acetate, Ambrox, and Civetone. There's a little bit of a funk in there, but not over the top funk. I think it's there to kind of like accentuate the fragrance with all the other molecular notes. A beautiful fragrance. I can totally smell it now, but definitely wears like a skin scent. And of course, if I ever want to enhance fragrances, I use it for that as well. I don't know what from DS and Durga. Beautiful fragrance. And then this is the fragrance that a lot of folks love to get, and it's got a cult following as well. This is Molecule 1 from Eccentric Molecules. On its own, it's super minimalistic. It's ISOE Super, basically cedar sandalwood. And when I first smelled this one, it was nothing. I even said it's alcohol. But I gave it time and I eventually started smelling this woodiness. And I can smell this off of other people when they're wearing it. It's super strong for me now. It's just basically a woody fragrance, and it's also very musky, a bit ambery, but a beautiful fragrance on its own. It's gorgeous to wear, and I like it for its minimalistic qualities. If I just want something very minimalistic, this is one of the fragrances I would wear. It's very much a skin scent. This is also used for enhancing or boosting other fragrances. Like if you have a very light citrus fragrance, spray this stuff on, let it dry, and then spray that citrus on top to create a bit of a woody citrus thing. You can do that, and I think it kind of prolongs the life of the citrus fragrance for a bit. But on its own, it's great. I think Molecule 1 is one of the best molecular fragrances out there. But also you should check out the Molecule 1 Plus fragrances, where you've got Patchouli or Mandarin Orange or Iris when they first launched those 2 years ago. And then there's also the new ones, which are Ginger, which also is black tea and Gaiac wood. So basically they've taken ISOE Super and added those other notes like Patchouli and together. It's really, really great. It might be a little more strong to wear like a Patchouli, but maybe the Mandarin might work, the Iris might work, the Gaiac wood is all super smoky, but a great fragrance. This is Molecule 1 from Eccentric Molecules, perfect fragrance. And then going to the house of What We Do is Secret. This is Monoscent G. This is a very, very much a skin scent, very molecular with Galaxolide Super. And this is an ingredient to create a sweet, musky, powdery, floral, woody, spicy note. Basically, it's musk, and it has those kind of characteristics, and it wears super amazing. It's very, very much a skin scent. You can also use it to enhance other fragrances. For me, I like to enhance what is the fragrance? Original Musk from Kiehl's. It's basically going to boost up and prolong the life of Kiehl's Original Musk, because there's definitely some lightness and an issue with longevity with that fragrance because it's gotten reformulated. So when I use this on its own, it's just a beautiful, sexy musk, kind of powdery, also smooth and creamy, but also as an enhancer to boost up that fragrance. I think it works great, and I really, really love this stuff. It's an unusual sized bottle, and it goes down pretty easy because you're liberally spraying this stuff, and it sits close to the skin, and somebody might get close to you and smell you and wonder, wow, what is that beautiful fragrance you're wearing? So Monoscent G from What We Do is Secret is super amazing. Then moving on to the house of Akakapa This is Muschio Bianco, this one right here. So Muschio Bianco, once again, it translates to white musk. This one has a bit more substance, but still wears close to the skin. Along with the white musk, there's aldehydes here. There's lavender, juniper berries, lemon, cardamom. So it's very clean, perfect fragrance if you're not into like heavy notes and ingredients. And of course, this kind of has that kind of laundry-like smell, but it's a white musk, so it's musky, aromatic, and clean, and a bit metallic as well. But the aldehydes that is featured in this fragrance also creates for a bit of a fizzy vibe. But a beautiful fragrance. This is one of my favorite fragrances from this house. I don't speak a lot about their other fragrances, but I love Akakappa's Muschio Bianco, and I think it's a perfect skin scent to wear day in and day out. This is Akakappa's Muschio Bianco. Check that out if you don't know it. So I forgot to mention that there is a bonus fragrance, a budget bonus fragrance. Stay tuned for that after the outro. But moving on to the House of Serge Lutens, this is Clair de Musc, this one right here. So what we've got here is basically kind of a toss-up between, you know, a kind of a deer musk plus white musk together. Because for me, this is kind of in the middle of like a clean musk and a bit of a funky musk, which I quite like about this one, and it makes it super sexy. Also very powdery and a bit citrusy as well. Along with the musk note, you've got iris here, neroli, and bergamot. So it wears close to the skin. It's perfect like that. It does remind me of musk in the end, like deer musk, but not a kind of animalic and funky musk. They have another fragrance called Musk Kubla Khan that is definitely on the funky side, but Clair de Musc is the right amount of funk and clean white musk together to create this beautiful powdery muskiness with citruses. Really, really beautiful fragrance. It's definitely a skin scent, and somebody has to get close to you to smell you. So Clair de Musc from Serge Lutens, definitely check that out if you don't know it. Up next, going to the House of Xerjoff, we've got Apollonia, this one right here. This one is a skin scent for me, but a beautiful skin scent. I really, really like it for the fact that it is skin scent. And Xerjoff is known for, you know, beast mode fragrances, whereas this is a complete departure from their beastly fragrances. Basically, the notes are white musk, orris, and white flowers. So basically, I get some nondescript floral touches in here, like magnolia, maybe some notes that are kind of nondescript. You can't really recognize exactly the notes. Perhaps it's jasmine, but I get more of a clean vibe of magnolia here, along with that powdery, creamy, buttery orris note, and of course this clean white musk. And I think the inspiration is totally cool. The bottle looks like what you're wearing, basically. A very clean, powdery cloud you're floating on, and it's a beautiful skin scent. Sure, it might be a little expensive for what you get, but when you smell it, it's really, really gorgeous, I think. Anyway, Apollonia from the House of Xerjoff, wonderful. And I'm going to end the video with a duo of fragrances from the same house that are perfect skin scents. You can use them separately or on your own. But before I get to those fragrances, don't forget to stick around for the bonus fragrance, which is a budget fragrance. But we're going to the House of Obvious Parfums, and I'm going to recommend Un Bois and also Un Musc. Both of them are perfect skin scents for me, and also a bit molecular and also super sexy. Both of them, totally. You can wear them on their own or layer them together to boost it up a little bit, to have a little more of an intense take on the skin scent. But the Un Bois features vetiver, ambroxan, cedar, papyrus, black pepper, gurgeon balsam, and bergamot, but it smells fantastic. It does remind me of those kind of eccentric molecules, molecular fragrances with a bit of substance. And then the Un Musc features all kinds of synthetic musks, which makes it super sexy. It's globalide, helvetolide, ambretolide, muscanone, vetiver, amyris, galbanum, bergamot, and ginger. Beautiful, really, really sexy. A lot of these fragrances that are skin scents are also perfect bed scents, I should say. But when you wear this Un Musc, it's a happiness for me. I'm obsessed with musks, especially ones that remind me of deer musk, but not the animalic kind of like the sweet type, and then here we get it in kind of a synthetic form, which smells fantastic, and on its own it's perfect. The two together, a bit of boost of musky skin scent, really, really beautiful. So check them out if you don't know them. It's Un Musc and also Un Bois from Obvious Parfums. Very underrated house that offers some really beautiful fragrances that focus on just one kind of a note or ingredient. Anyway, those are my thoughts on some of the best skin scents out there. Let me know your thoughts on these fragrances. Have you tried them? Do you have a suggestion of other skin scents that you enjoy? Let me know. Put some comments down below so I can find out. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. So, as promised, we've got the bonus option here, and it's a cheapie, and I've been recommending this one quite a bit in different videos, but we're going to the house of Le Monde Gourmand. It's 000, this one right here. Kind of a cheap take on something like Acacappa's Muschio Bianco. It's Italian bergamot with freesia and water lily. They don't mention a musky note here, perhaps there is some. It's got definitely the citrusy touches and the floral touches, and then of course the kind of a water lily is definitely got that kind of watery thing happening with it. So it wears kind of liquid and a bit ethereal and very musky, and on its own it's a skin scent. It's beautiful. It's perfect to layer with other fragrances, and also, you know, just to wear on its own, just to wear something minimalistic and simplistic if you're into the light skin scents. But I've been recommending this quite a bit. I think it's definitely worth checking out if you don't know this particular fragrance or any of their other fragrances, because they're really inexpensive fragrances. 30 ml, $25. You can pop it in your bag, your purse, or put it on your desk at the office or something, and spritz away and smell fantastic, but also kind of, you know, wear a skin scent. But either way, this is Le Monde Gourmand with 000, and that is the bonus fragrance for you today. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys later. Bye.